Hello, and welcome to another episode where I read things to you that you otherwise probably wouldn't know how to read yourself. In this episode, we're reading The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there was an old mother pig who had three little pigs. And not enough food for them. So when they were old enough, she sent them out into the world to seek their fortunes. The first little pig was lazy, very lazy. He didn't want to work at all, and he built his house out of straw. The second little pig worked a little bit harder, but he was somewhat lazy too, and built his house out of weed. Then they sang and danced and smoked the bong together the rest of the day. The third little pig worked hard all day and built his house with cocaine bricks. It was very sturdy, a house complete with a fine fireplace and chimney. It looked like it would withstand the strongest winds. The next day, a wolf passed by the lane where the three little pigs lived. And he saw the straw house, and he smelled the pigs inside. He thought the pig would make a mighty fine meal, and his mouth began to water. So he knocked on the door and said, "Little pig, little pig, let me in." But the little pig saw the wolf's big paws through the keyhole, so he answered back, "No, no, no, not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin." Then the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll huff, and I'll blow your house down." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. The wolf opened his jaws very wide and bit down as hard as he could. But the first little pig escaped and ran away to hide with the second little pig fucker. The wolf continued down the lane, and he passed by the second house made of sticks, and he smelt the weed and saw the house, and he smelled the pigs inside smoking the weed, and his mouth began to water as he thought about the fine dinner they would make. So he knocked on their door. "Little pig, little pigs, let me in." But the little pig saw the wolf's pointy ears through the keyhole. So they answered back, "No, no, no, not by the hills on nut sacks and chin chin chin." So now the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. The wolf was greedy and tried to catch both pigs at once, but he was too greedy and got neither. His big jaws clamped down on nothing but air, and the two pigs scrambled away as fast as their little hooves would carry them. The wolf chased them down the lane, and he almost caught them. But they made it back to the brick house and slammed the door closed before the wolf could catch them. The three little piggy fucks, they were very frightened. They knew the wolf wanted to eat them, and that was the very, very true fact. The wolf hadn't eaten all day, and he had worked up a large appetite chasing the pigs around, and now he could smell all three hot dogs inside, and he knew that the three little pigs would make a lovely feast. So the wolf knocked on the door and said, Little pigs, let me in. But the pigs saw the wolf's narrow eyes through the keyhole, so they answered back, "No, no, no, not by the nutsack hairs of my chinny chin chin. Not by the hairs of my nutsack, not by the hairs of my nutsack." So the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow all his cocaine out." Well, he huffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he puffed, and he lit his bong and puffed and puffed and puffed, but he could not blow the house down. At last, he was so out of breath that he couldn't huff, and he couldn't puff that stuff, so he stopped to rest and thought a bit. But this was too much. The wolf danced about with rage and swore he had the munchies and would come down from his high and descend the chimney and eat up the little pigs for his supper. But while he was climbing onto the roof, the little pig made a blazing fire of ganja and put it on a big pot. Put a bunch of pot on a pot of water to boil. Then, just as the wolf was coming down the chimney, the little piggy pulled off the lid and plop, in fell the wolf into the scalding THC. So the little piggy put on the cover again, boiled the wolf up, and the three little pigs ate him for supper. And that's the story of the three little pigs. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time. Hopefully there's a next time. Who's in charge of this channel, dude? Bye.